Welcome everyone, a guy trying here, and Equinox has started off the new year with new ways to play Altered, or at least some more official ways to play some popular fan-made formats. You can now build decks for No Unique and Singleton formats as well as play them on BGA with other players. The link to the announcement is in the description, so let's get into it. When you go into your deck builder on Altered.gg, you can now choose to have your deck be formatted for Standard, No Unique, or Singleton, and it will show the legality of your deck for that rule set. Standard is the main competitive format that we've been playing, so you should be used to that already, and the other two will offer some unique ways to play the game. As the name suggests, No Uniques will restrict players from playing unique cards, while still keeping the main style of Standard. There is a minimum of 39 cards with 15 maximum rares and 3 exalteds, meaning that the 3 uniques you normally play would have to be replaced by commons. This is the same rule set the community has been using and offers a great way for people to play the game without the added difficulty of playing around or obtaining uniques. And if you play in tournaments such as Team AQC's No Unique Championship on Wednesdays, it will also give you the chance to win some uniques for Standard or Singleton play thanks to the new pricing structure offered to partnered organizers by Equinox. The much bigger shakeup comes with the Singleton format. The community had been running Singleton structured around a base of the Standard rule set. There was still a 39 card minimum, a 3 unique, and 15 rare maximum, and you could only have one card from each card family. This means that you'd have to choose between common, rare, or unique for a card like Magpeng Hoarder to make it in. However, Equinox's official rules will change all of these. You'll have to add 20 cards to your deck for the 59 card minimum, and you are instead allowed one of each rarity of a card. That means for a character, you may have a common, rare, and unique version in your Singleton deck. And there are currently no restrictions on how many rares or exalteds you may have in a deck. If we go back to Magpeng Hoarder, the rare is a strict upgrade to the common, so you should always default to the rare and only add the common if you want to hoard Magpengs in your deck. And on top of that, Equinox has introduced hero-specific unique limits. Heroes are currently broken down into 3 groups based on their general meta relevance, with the top performing heroes having a max of 3 unique slots, less performing heroes with 4, and finally the heroes they think need the most help will be able to put up to 5 uniques in their deck. Traced, Kojo, Basira, Navenka, Fen, Tasha, and Sigismar will be the starting 3 unique champions. Subash, Isari, Achadi, Arjun, Kauri, Rin, Zen, and Akesha will be 4 uniques. And Sierra, Sol, Arak, Nadir, Woru, Gulring, Lindaway, Avanis, and Moyo will start at the 5 unique level. Heroes may fluctuate in and out of these tiers, although we don't know how often that would occur. This is definitely a big departure from the metagame we've been seeing from the Singleton community, and I'm curious to see how rigid Equinox will be with the rule set. Early impressions seem to show Bravos running away with the meta and running about 75% rares in their decks. This is letting rares that would otherwise not see much play shine, and I do think that the additional deck size does mean that we need more rares to have decks be functional, but there are some that worry this reduces too much of the decision making in deck building. I've seen the idea floated that in addition to a heroes tier determining how many uniques they could run, there could also be scaling rare limits that accompany that. This would allow heroes that require more specific synergies like Lindaway and Sierra to still have some consistency in their deck while also reducing the power of broader heroes like Kojo and Sigismar. This could also iron itself out as the meta continues because we currently only have initial impressions from last Thursday's Spaghetti Alt Weekly Singleton Tournament, the first tournament under the official rule set. But you don't have to wait for one of the weekly tournaments held by some of our great dedicated community members to play these formats. If you go to BGA right now, under custom options you can choose which format you would like to queue for. I was originally worried that having additional formats would split the player base too much to reliably find a game, but you can see which tables are currently looking for players, and it will show which format they are searching for. You can then join a table if you want to play that format. This will help mitigate the queue times even while spreading out the player base. If you're only looking to play a specific format though, you might still be waiting a bit. I believe the current plan is to keep Arena as standard since that is the primary competitive format, but this could change later on. Before you search or join a table, it's important to make sure that whatever decks you hope to use in that format are saved in the deck builder under that format, as you'll only be able to see and select from those legal decks at the start of the game. Unfortunately, there is currently no way to convert a deck from one format to another, so you'll have to start from scratch in the deck builder. And they've said this is only the start of new features that they have in store for us, and that they are looking forward to adding new ways to play Altered on BGA soon. Top of my list would be ways to implement 2v2 or limited formats, but I think those might still be a ways off, since they would require a lot more background work than No Unique and Singleton. For features, I think we need to be able to show off alt arts and promos on BGA sooner rather than later. Equinox has stated they want to increase collectability, which they've done by including collector boosters with chase cards like alternate arts, and doubling down on exclusive promos through official tournaments, as seen in the prizing of the upcoming Winter Finals. I think that both of these are great because I love to see how TCG players decide to personalize and bling out their decks, but currently one of the main ways to play the game only defaults to base card art aside from a few exceptions. I'd also assume these features will include the update to the Adventure Pass we've been told about that will allow BGA games to count towards progress. So if you're going to let us earn these alt arts through BGA, let us show them off there too. We'll have to see what else Equinox decides to surprise us with, but what they've shown us so far has me excited. The surprise of the Singleton rule set has got me energized to deck build in a time when I'm mainly waiting for Seeds of Unity. I've made 7 completed Singleton decks so far, and I'm going to have to change them in less than a month, but I don't care like I do for standard decks because I'm still just learning the basics of this new format. There definitely seems to be some balance issues, so I'm curious as to how that will play out in the end. Both new formats use the suspended list of standard, and I wonder if they'll deviate from that. No Unique is also great, and has a strong fan base behind it, but it's a bit too much of the same to capture that same level of enthusiasm. My main one for a new format would be a more tuned free-for-all. I don't like that in the current rules you have a pseudo-teammate and an opponent you can never directly contest. Still, I'm curious to see what they have up their sleeves. Thanks for watching. I hope you found this helpful in some way. If you did, feel free to like and subscribe, but if you made it this far, just know that I'm happy you stayed with me this long. Seeds of Unity is coming up, so there's a lot of stuff I want to do with that. We've already gotten a teaser for Roots of Corruption, Set 6, which I'll probably make a short video discussing. And the Winter Season Final is coming up next weekend. I was hoping to make a meta guide, but in all honesty, it's felt like the meta has been pretty unchanged since Worlds, so it fell to the side. I should be hopping on the AWOL team's broadcast to help with English commentary at some point, so I hope you'll come join their stream. After a season of inactivity, I'm excited for what comes next. That's all for now, but I hope we see each other again.